I had a conversation with somebody yesterday about originality versus imitation, and I realized that this is something that I've thought about a lot throughout my career. There's a quote that I really like. It has a quote by Oscar Wilde that goes like this: "It is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation." And I want to talk about why I think this quote is so powerful and so true. The first reason why it's so powerful is because originality requires courage. To be original means that you have to do things that have never been done before. You have to go into the unknown. You have to take risks. And by definition, when you take risks, you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. And that's scary. It's scary to put yourself out there, to expose yourself, to be vulnerable. But that's what it takes to be original. That's what it takes to innovate. That's what it takes to create something new and different and wonderful in this world. On the other hand, imitation doesn't require any courage. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Imitation is easy. It's safe. It's comfortable. When you imitate somebody else, you're following in their footsteps. You're doing exactly what they did. There's no risk. There's no uncertainty. There's no fear. Now, don't get me wrong, imitation has its place. In fact, I believe that imitation is essential for learning. When you're starting out, you have to learn from somebody else. You have to imitate them. You have to copy them. Otherwise, how are you going to learn? How are you going to get any better? You have to start somewhere, but you can't stay there forever. At some point, if you want to grow, if you want to evolve, you have to move on. You have to break out of your mold. You have to stop imitating. And here's the thing. Even if you imitate somebody successfully, even if you do it perfectly, even if you become the best imitator in the world, it's still not enough. Because as the saying goes, imitators follow. Only innovators lead. If you're an imitator, you're following somebody else's path. You're doing exactly what they did. You're living in their shadow. If you want to be successful, if you want to leave your mark on the world, then you have to lead. You have to blaze your own trail. You have to be authentic. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, but what if I fail? Well, that's the risk you have to take. But let me tell you something. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a part of success. Every successful person, every successful company, every successful idea has one thing in common, and that is they failed many times before they got to where they are now. So if you want to be successful, if you want to create something great, then you have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, to be vulnerable, to expose yourself, because that's what it takes. That's what it takes to be authentic. That's what it takes to be original. You know, history remembers the bold, not the safe. History remembers the people who took risks, who dared to be different, who dared to dream big dreams and pursue them relentlessly. These are the people who made a difference. These are the people who left their mark on the world. Don't get me wrong, being original is hard. It's much harder than just copying somebody else. It's much harder to be authentic than to imitate somebody else. But if you want to be successful, if you want to create something that is truly yours, then it's worth it. It's worth all the hard work, all the effort, all the struggle, because nothing is more rewarding than creating something that is truly yours. You know, I remember when I was in college, I used to write these stories, these fictional stories, and I would always get the same feedback from my professors. They would say, "Your writing is good, but it's too derivative. You're just copying other writers. You're imitating other styles. You're not being original." And I took their advice, and I started to try to be more original. And it was so much harder. It was so much more difficult, but it was also so much more rewarding. Because when I finally did something that was truly mine, that was truly original, I knew it. I knew that I had done something special. So my advice to you is this: don't settle for imitation. Don't settle for copying somebody else. Don't settle for being derivative. Push yourself. Be original. Be authentic. Be yourself. Because that is where your true success lies. That is where your true happiness lies. That is where your legacy will be built. Thank you.